here today.
You mean like Tampa?
You mean like farther than Wyoming?
Like the rest of our country. That was a good one.
Arizona?
Yeah. I was, because we're talking cactuses, and I was going to apologize for this.
This is a huge plant.
The sad excuse for a cactus. So this is the prickly pear cactus, and it is native all through the East Coast. Most people don't realize that, but in New York, there's sandier areas where I grew up had these. So let me tell you a story about these. The person, yes, you know where I'm going, don't you? The person that taught me about this plant was like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. And yeah, these big ones, they're easy to chop off. But see, ladies and gentlemen, if you know this plant, the big ones are nothing compared to those little hairs that are there. Because at the end of the walk, I shook his hand and I got one of those little hairs from his hand. He must have been like all up and down his hand, and he didn't know it. And that's the worst excruciating thing, having one of those hairs in you, and not getting to have a pair of tweezers to get it out. So the big ones, no problem. The little hairs, that's the worst. So you're like, why would you ever want to eat this? There are domesticated varieties that are spineless, and I heard somebody talk about heart. Heart grows a ton of spineless prickly pear cactus. Now, in certain Hispanic cultures, they eat a lot of nopales, which is the same thing, the Western variety, pickled. So one of my favorite things is this cactus and eggs, nopales and eggs. Favorite thing in the world. So usually it's in our culture, in the supermarket, it's pickled. In the pickling, I think the salt brine gets rid of the sliminess. I think the fancy word for that is mucilaginous-ness of it. When you do it fresh, it's slimy like a cactus on the inside. That is actually really good for you, if you can get over the fact that it's slimy. So that's, if you can handle the sliminess. Yeah. So the fruit already are in. They're very sweet. They also have those little hairs, so I'm being careful. They make, out west, they make jelly out of the fruit quite a bit. Not so good here in Florida, but I do occasionally when they're nice and ripe. Yeah, right there, the fruit getting nice and ripe. It's not quite ripe enough yet. You want it to be almost overripe. Now, there was something that I was looking for, and you know, the plants move around on me, so I'll look for it. Any questions about the prickly pear? So this is the eastern variety of prickly pear. The western is way better.
I do have one question.
Oh, okay, good question. Very carefully. So there's two methods. If I'm out in the woods, I hack it off with a knife or something, and with two sticks, I hold it in the fire and burn them off.
Oh,
yeah. If I'm in civilization, the hairs and all the spines come like these little bumps or raises, and you can, with a knife, sort of just cut it off. Like that. Well, a little bit better than that, but like that. Oh, I got a hair.
did you hold it with tongs, maybe?
Yeah, you can hold it with tongs. I know a lot of people that will grab it with a glove and then like rub it with a towel, which then you got to clean the towel, so I don't like that.
Yeah.